So we are back again with another sticky dough mix, which does make me panic a little bit, this sticky dough like, because it is literally just so sticky, and getting it out of here, it's just a nightmare really. Let's go right around the edge, try and stop it sticking to the sides. And we are round. So now I'm pushing down, getting it to slide under, working my way left to right as I do that. I'm trying to scrape that straight into my bowl of semolina. Got it right again, check me out. Didn't say macaroni. Well, we've got that on there now. I'm gonna top that off a bit, even though we're turning it over. Push that down. Kind of use the plate a little bit as a guide if I can, to get an early round shape, so when it's on the table it'll be quicker to form. So doing that, we're back. The bottom of the bowl is now back on top. And onto the table. Sticking a bit there. As soon as it doesn't see there, it's not moving freely there. As soon as you see that, get some stuff under it, because you will have an issue when that comes to getting it on your shovel. If it's not flowing freely underneath, despite however much you put down. I've seen people put tons under here and it still stick. You want to see, look, it's sticking there now. So I'm going to throw some right under again, push this in around the edges, just to make sure it's all moving. It's still sticking at this front here, look, there's plenty there. There we go. Right, so we have run out of ketchup, so I'm using chilli tomato sauce for this one. Any brand works fine. I've done it in a previous emergency. Let's just get all that out there. Got another bottle on standby in case it's not enough. We'll see, we don't need loads. I say it looks a bit sparse, but I haven't got to the thick of it here. Probably just enough actually. Don't know, I think I want a bit more on. For this area and over here. I think that'll do us. So same as I always do. This on the bottom, which is just your Italian style grated cheese, parmesan, whatever you've got. Some on the bottom, it just adds another little layer of flavour. It almost makes the pizza taste cheesy, you know that. I don't want to put this back in the fridge, there's nothing hardly in it, so we will use it up. I tend to use most of my cheeses, they're nothing special, and they tend to come from farm foods, because the farm foods cheese is bother free in the production, whereas a lot of others, like your normal supermarket stuff, they are made with bother milk. Or bother feed milk, should I say. A lot of people aren't bothered. And if you're one of them that isn't, that's fine. But for anyone that is, farm foods is one of the best places for your dairy stuff. How very dairy So I'm just going to throw the last, again this pizza that I'm making now is purely to use up all the last little bits that were in the kitchen really. So I'm chucking on here little bits, there's like 4 slices of leftover ham, but it is very thin ham to be fair. A few slices of salami, let's just throw it on and move on with it all. It ended up being more than expected. It's a bit heavy this, so it might find that this sticks going into the oven. And some jarred jalapenos I always have in for anything I want to make. They're just there on hand. Yeah, it's looking quite heavy this. We might have a... It might end up being a surprise calzone this. Try to get this on there. What I do want, which I haven't got out, is black pepper. Never, when I share, nobody else likes it, so I can never put this on, but I do like quite a lot on, to be fair, so it's not everyone's taste. Work faster, work faster. I need to get one of them electric ones, don't I? You know, where you just push a button, the full-on lazy boy method. That'll suit me down to the ground for this stuff. The longer that's sat there on your worktop, absorbing, absorbing that last bit of semolina underneath, more chance we've got of it sticking, especially with quite an heavy thing. Right, I'm just going to go with that because I'm getting scared now. So again, just pinching the front, and you've got to go quick, and I didn't quite make it there. So if it's overhanging, if you start pulling it slowly till it's just on, it doesn't have to be just on to be fair, but re-spread your toppings back out because they all get shunted as you do that. We are on there now. Let's get that in the oven before it dries out on me pizza paddle. And I'll come back to you when that one's done. So we are back and we've just gone into the last 5 seconds now. I like mine a bit more done, so it may well. We're going to put that in again. And we're going to give that another 30 seconds, only because I like mine with a bit burnt on it. Is that crazy? It's just what I like. A bit of fluff there. A tough bit of fluff. So yeah, we'll sit here for the next 30 seconds, see how we go. And that is in 5 seconds now. That went quick. What fun. And we're going to look, I can see a bit of smokiness, maybe overdone now, yeah. See, to me, that is just how I like it. A little tiny bit of burntness, let's call it charring, but yeah, it just adds to it for me. So, let's stick that back in there. Put this in. There we go. Another pizza with the sticky dough done.